Yeah, good day viewers. You're welcome to my channel. This is Radical Science. If today is the first time of visiting this channel, I want you to do well by hitting the subscription button and also turning the subscription bell on so that anytime we post in this channel, you can be able to get notification to enable you watch our videos anytime we post. So on today's edition, I want to give you a breakdown of the specimen which has been given by WAEC in this year 2025. So all I want you to do is just to pay attention to this video. Like I will always tell you, do not skip this video, because anytime you skip this video, you miss one step or the other, and by the time you try to carry out your own experiment, you may have a failed result. So on today's edition, we are working based on the instruction, based on the materials that has been made available by WAEC, which is the instruction given. Okay, so on this, I want to do one of the most interesting part of this practical. So if you are a teacher, if you are a student, I want you to pay attention to this video. So I'll be dwelling, for now, I'll be dwelling on specimen G and specimen H. Yes, I'll be taking you on specimen G and specimen H. Now, if you look at the specimen G says fresh egg. Fresh egg, and here we have our fresh egg labeled G. Now, and the specimen H says test tube containing 3 ml of water. Test tube containing 3 ml of water. Now, that is for the specimen provided. But if you go down to the materials that are given, or the materials that are meant to be provided by each school, you will discover that we were asked to provide sodium hydroxide and 1% of copper. So the question now is, what is the reason for these chemicals? Why are they asking us to provide this chemical, despite the fact that it has not been listed among the specimen which has been given by WAEC? So that is the more reason why you need to pay attention to this video. Now, they are not going to ask you any other question concerning specimen G and specimen H, if not food test. So what they are going to be asking you is everything about food test. Now, if you look at this very well, you will always discover that the test between sodium hydroxide, copper, and a protein is known as Burette test. It's known as Burette test. So that is what we are going to be carrying out at this moment. So pay attention while I give you the breakdown, or while I show you how it is being done and the result. That is what you should bear in mind. There is no other question that they will be setting for you. They will not ask you to state the function of egg. No, nobody is going to ask you that. Rather, it is just the experiment, the test for protein, which we'll be doing using Burette test. Okay, so, and if you check that instruction, we were asked to provide okay, just a minute. So we were also asked to provide a syringe. So here I have my syringe. Now the question will also be, why would they ask schools to provide syringe? Now the essence of this syringe is for you to use it to take materials. Okay, for you to use it to take material. That is the essence of the syringe. So we have our syringe here, we have our egg here. So first of all, let us break the egg. Let's break the egg. This is a raw egg. Now, what you are going to be using for this test is just the egg whites. That is the albumin. The yolk is not needed in this practical. The yolk is not needed. So we do everything possible to extract just the albumin only, leaving the yolk. That is the thing there. Nobody's going to ask you to pour everything. Just pay attention to this video, and you will never regret ever coming to this channel. If you are a teacher, pay attention. If you are a student, just pay attention to this video, and I promise you that you will never regret it. And again, if you have any question, anything you want, just drop a comment in the comment section. As you can see, we only extracted the egg albumin, that is the egg white. There is no yolk in it. The yolk is still intact. You can see the yolk is still intact in the egg shell. You can see it. So we have to discard this. This one now has no usefulness. So look at the one we are going to be using now. So remember, we were asked to provide 3 ml of water, so which is specimen H. Now look at this. Let us use this one now as our 3 ml of water. 3 ml of water. Okay, let's assume that this is 3 ml, or possibly you can use your syringe to measure the 3 ml of water. So already so look at it, we already have our 3 ml of water. So add our 3 ml of water in the test tube. Okay, now again, you will also be asked to measure 3 ml of these egg whites. Okay, this egg white, which is specimen H. So we are going to be taking we're also going to take 3 ml of egg white. Can you see it now? So we put it in another test tube. Okay, so you can see this 3 ml of egg whites, and this is also 3 ml of water, which is from the instruction. We were asked to provide sodium hydroxide and 1% of copper. 1% of copper solution. So we are going to be preparing it right now and carry out the experiment as you are going to see it on that very day of your biology practical. So here, this is my sodium hydroxide. So this is my sodium hydroxide. So I'm going to prepare it. Just, you have to dissolve your sodium hydroxide in water, but they said solution, so you dissolve it in water. So it has properly dissolved, and here we already have our 1% of copper solution. So now what you are going to do is you will be asked to put some drop of this in essence, or you'll be asked to put some drop of sodium hydroxide right into the egg solution, and also you'll be asked to add the same thing in this water solution, which is specimen H and specimen G. This is our specimen G and this is our specimen H. So now let us begin. Now at this point I'll be using this to take some amount of this and put right inside here and shake it. And shake. Okay, so you can see now I'll still be doing the same thing in that of our H, and also I will shake it. Okay, so now the next thing there is to put drop of this copper solution, just 1% of copper solution, and we are going to be checking the reaction. Now look at this, just be observant. Okay, so you can see there is a color change. There is a color change, and this color change, now this color is purple. Okay, is purple. So the color we have here is purple, and let's still do the same thing to specimen H. Now when you do it to specimen H, discover there will not be any color change in it. There will not be any color change in it. Check it very, very well. Check this one. You can see the difference that is in this. So at this point now, there is a color change, and the color change here now is purple, while here now the color still remain blue as the copper color is. So that is, by the way, what this now simply means is that this contains protein. It contains protein. That is to say that X contains protein, while this particular water does not contain any protein. So this is the outcome of the experiment conducted. So on that experiment, for the specimen G, which is egg white, so we added egg whites with sodium hydroxide plus 1% of copper. We noticed that a purple color or violet color was seen. Now that means that the protein is present. Now for the specimen J, which is water, we can still use this, can still write water, because we were asked to label it as water. Okay, we asked to label it as water. So water plus H2O, H plus NaOH, which is sodium hydroxide, plus 1% of copper. There was no color change, meaning that protein was not present. So this is how you are going to be seeing it on that day of your biology practical. So thank you very much, and remember, if you need any assistance as far as this WAEC is concerned, ranging from art subjects to science subjects, all you need to do is to join our Telegram group, or you join our WhatsApp group, where you get all the necessary assistance that you need. So thank you very much, and God bless you.